Hey, I got another email from Mexico, and it's from Emilio, uh, who wrote me a long and very question-filled email. And I'm going to try and sort of break it up into little bits and pieces and make a sort of Q&A out of it. So let's just see if we can do that, right? Here we go. So this is a Q&A, and it's mostly about Soviet Shirkers, commisars, and polytrucks, and all kinds of stuff, including a list. Hello again. How are you? I'm well, thank you. I am writing to you again from Mexico. Finally, the tournament was only for 12 people and not 20. 12 people is still good. For me, everything that's like 10 or more is that's really good. Not that many players here, yes, and maybe especially if you go outside of, uh, maybe outside of Europe, really. There's often a lot of distance between towns and cities, and so there's often a greater spread between players, which means that it can be difficult getting together that many players. But there are some places where you can. But 12 people for a tournament, perfect. That's really good. Emilia came sixth with 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. That is perfect, Emilia. That is what I did in my first tournament. Oh, isn't? No, that's not actually true. I won my first tournament. God damn it. Yes, it is what I did in my first tournament. That is my goal for my first tournament when I was playing 40k, was to just break even, and you did. Congratulations, you've done well. Really, and especially if you think the missions were not really suited to your strategy or list, it's still good. Breaking even, that's good. So that is perfect for me. In the early days of one's tournament career, perfect. And I would still say going to some major tournaments, I'm happy if I just break even in some tournaments, because sometimes you're just up against a really hard field of very good players. And you're very, very welcome. The advice I give is free, and you can use it or not. I'm not, I'm just a guy on the internet, right? Uh, Saying stuff that I feel like is right. So I may be like sort of good at this game, but I don't know everything. I give out the advice that I think is the best I can give. So if you can use it, I'm really happy. I said in a video, sorry, you said in a video that Shirkers were out. Are they completely out of competitive gaming? Yes. And no. No, the issue is the latest fact. It stated what a lot of people had been saying all along, that when you count pins on a Shirker unit, for order tests and morale tests, they should be counted double, right? But a lot of people have been saying they should also be counted double for when the unit breaks. There's a rout condition that if you have too many pins, more pins than you have morale, you have to leave. And for a Shirker unit that is inexperienced, that is on 8 pins. And if they count it double, then there's only 4 pins. So if you can put 4 pins on a Shirker unit, it's gone forever. And that is pretty rough. That is really not good. And that means many of the classical Shirker armies that we used to see a lot, they're gone. The classical use of Shirkers that we saw a lot before this latest fact from the German team in the WTC, in the Spanish WTC team, they were using Shirkers for their infantry. Everything could be Shirkers. That is really dangerous for them now, because 4 pins in one turn is definitely possible. So many people are moving away from shirkers. Do I think that there's still a place where you can use them? Yes, I do. And I think they can still be used in both of the formats that we've seen them being used before, both in the large unit and in the very, very small. The backline holder shirkers are not completely dead because they're still very cheap. They're just crap. They always were. Um, but they do take a lot more training now, and they are more brittle. They will die off quicker on you. I just bought enough infantry to make a Soviet horde list. Oh, welcome to the cheese. Yes, Soviets can really build some good horde lists. But now, with the new rules, I'm afraid I'll not be able to use it in a tournament. You may not, but just cut out the shirkers. Make them inexperienced. What do you think about this list? I think you should cut out the shirker. That's it. That's all of the changes I think you should do. Yes, that will mean maybe you're going down one order dice or something like that. But for this list, this is a 3 platoon, 1,000 points, 28 order dice. 28 on 1,000 points. That's not a horde. That was a horde at 1250. This is insane. You have so many order dice. You don't actually need all these dice. So you can easily cut back one or two and just cut out the shirkers. Make them just inexperienced units. Inexperienced riflemen. Perfectly fine. No problem there. Um, and yes, run them in large squads. They're still very good. The tank teams, very good. Dog mines, very good. Medium mortars, inexperienced. Katyushas, oof. This is a terrifying list. It doesn't have much. It doesn't have much to stop veteran chargers like Polish Lancers or Gurkhas or Japanese veterans or my own SAS. Um, those units are going to go through you like butter, but you do have so many infantry bodies, and what you do basically is you push out a screen of infantry and then sit behind it with your mortars and your katyushas, and you just pound the enemy, getting them to come towards you. And as soon as they do, you punish them for that, because everything you have shoots at them. Everything you have, all the anti-tank assets go straight into that darker steward as it comes up. So yeah, this list could really work. Just get rid of the shirkers. How good are commissars and polytrucks? They are not needed as such, but they can be helpful. It is a little bit situational whether or not their abilities actually work, but they are very, very cheap, and as such, they are order dice for you to put in that bag and to dominate the meta of who goes when. You can take the initiative by having enough order dice, and they help with that. So I think you should definitely go for commissars and polytrucks if you can push them into your list. Yes, always yes. You have 6 indirect fire weapons, 3 mortars, 3 katyushas, and 7 anti-tank weapons. Is that good? Yes, it's plenty. Unless you're going to see true tank platoons in your meta, which I don't know if you'll allow. If you're going to see tank platoons, then it might not be enough anti-tank capability. But against any regular build of just generic platoons, you're not going to see more than 3 tanks max. Maximum 3, maybe 4 tanks. It's not going to be above that. And with your dog teams and your Panzerfausts, you can scare away all of that. It's not going to come near you. It's going to sit at range and shoot at you, and you let your infantry go down while you pummel them with your noob bashing, multi-rocket launching, toting mortar army, basically. All your indirect fire is going to win you that game. But remember, pick your targets, right? pick the right targets for that indirect fire. So the Horde with the indirect fire, Noob Basher, and the anti-tank capability, very strong choice, very strong. And 108 infantrymen with support, 40 men are unarmed. Is that enough bodies? Yes, it is. For a good Horde army, for that tactic to work, you need approximately 90, 80 bodies. Anything above that is bonus. So yeah, you have enough. You definitely have enough. The enemy is going to find it really hard to deal with you because flamer armies are not going to be able to approach you. Veteran armies, they have to get into close combat range before they are effective, and you're going to punish them on the way in. Tank armies, they're not going to move up to you. So you got pretty much all your angles covered. Yes, 108 is enough. It's going to be really difficult for anyone to chew their way through all of that. And that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my short conversation with a long email from Emilia in Mexico. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.